So we've spoken about taking care of yourself like a child under your care. We've spoken about checking the zone of tolerance that you are in. We've also spoken about presence and like feeling your entire body and just being present in the moment and not in mental time or like time traveling in that concept, right? Let's talk about one concept that might be counterproductive but is actually helpful. If you stick with me, we'll just like clarify with a story or an allegory that is familiar to some of us. The concept is called acceptance, right? It's the allegory of David and Goliath. Let's see if that will help us understand it or clarify it better. And there was a conflict between two groups of people, right? Prior to David coming to conflict zone, the warriors on David's side were scared because they saw a giant right in front of them with all his armor and shining sword and shining spear. And every one of us would be scared. We all know that, right? But when David got there, he saw the giant. Wow, okay, that's a giant. I'm scared. I accept that. And also, I accept that I can take actions to change the particular situation, despite his teammates or his the warriors on his side actually telling him there's nothing he can do. They were stopping the loop of learned helplessness here, but he chose not to listen to that and learn the said helplessness that his teammates were stuck in. If according to the allegory, he picked up 5 stones or rocks, right? Let's look at those rocks as actions that can be taken towards a particular situation, right? As the story goes, he brought out a sling as well. The sling then is him himself taking said action. First action he took was he put one of those stones in the sling and it was swirling it around and swirling it around, swirling around until it gained a particular momentum and he released it. And immediately he released it, the story goes that he hit the Goliath, the giant, right in the middle of the head, and the giant dropped and he died. The moral of the story here is like whatever action that can be taken despite any form of anxiety or stress or fear that is in you should be taken because you don't know if it's going to change that particular situation just at the moment of taking just one action or not even taking 5 or 10 or 20 actions. Yes, right? Let's use like a daily example in our daily lives, right? Maybe we have a conversation we need to have with like our boss, our friends, our loved ones, and things like that. Some of us might be stuck in the loop of anxiety and stress, or it might be a contentious conversation and things like that. But you not having that conversation is not changing anything. But having that conversation might change the ecosystem around you, right? And also, like another critical example might be you lose a loved one, you lose your friend, you lose somebody that is very important in your life, or you lose your partner, right? For everybody, it's understandable to be stuck in despair, but being stuck in that despair might not be the way to better your life, so to speak, right? But being understanding that there are actions to be taken to rebuild your life despite what has happened is you taking agency for yourself. The question then becomes, am I fighting my feelings or am I fighting the situation that needs change? Stay jiggy.